Hi everybody, it's Brian here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. So in today's episode, we're going to be looking at a number of contributed designs that came in after a recent call on my Instagram and the Facebook pages that I contribute to. And I got quite a number of designs and I was really happy with them. I'm not going to go through all of them in this particular episode because it would make the episode far too long. However, everybody who contributed a design, it will have their design reviewed in one of the forthcoming episodes, be it today or one of the ones in the future. So hang tight if your design wasn't included today. I will get through to them and I'm very excited to do so. So again, in today's episodes, it's all about critiquing a number of designs. So stay tuned. Now, before we get on with today's episode, the fact that you're here today means that you are interested in all things pertaining to print on demand. For that, thank you very much for taking your time out of the busy day in order to watch this particular episode. I sincerely appreciate it. If you're new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click on the bell notification icon so that you'll be informed each and every time that I upload an episode to my channel. I upload episodes every Wednesday and Saturday, and the overall goal of this channel is to help you take your print-on-demand business to the next level and to help you with actionable tips and advice to get your designs out in front of more customers and hopefully, hey, to make more sales. I want to thank everybody who has been following me to date by giving me their subscription. Again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do consider doing so. I'd love to break the 2,000 mark before the end of 2021. And with your help, I know that I can do it. So let's hop on over to my computer and start with today's review. Okay, so welcome to my computer screen and let's get started with design review episode number 3. Okay, so the first design that we have for in today's episode is this one titled No Fear of Skull. Now, basically, as I'm looking at this design, it's quite busy. Now, I'm certain that it will appeal to a certain demographic, those particularly who enjoy things and designs pertaining to skulls and fear and whatnot. What do I like about this design? Let's zoom in a little bit here. I'm just going to bring it across here. Okay, so I like the choice of your font. It's big and it's bold, and even in the outline format, you can still clearly deduce what the words are. Clip art is quite good too as well. I can't really complain about that. The thing that is getting to me is that there is quite a bit that is distracting me as a potential customer to question whether or not this would be a design that I would want to purchase. Now, again, this is not to say that it's a bad design. I'm just giving my opinion on this. The first thing that I really would caution about doing or maybe consider changing are all of these barcodes down here at the bottom. I really can't tell what part they play in the overall design. Was it because maybe you wanted to fill in some space at the bottom there and didn't know what to put in, so you decided, let's put in some barcodes? Okay, you've got the word scanning over there. So again, there isn't a lot to tie it in together. Then you've got these triangles in the background with what looks to be like a circle. Maybe it's a red sun. You've got these wavy designs here. Perhaps maybe it's, relating to the water. And it's a sunset, maybe you're not scared of being out on the sea. Again, it's hard to really get a clear picture as to what niche you are actually targeting for. And this could actually work against you. Now, you might say, well, maybe perhaps, there's somebody in the skateboarding niche who likes these kind of things, or maybe a goth. Again, if you have started making sales on this, I do understand from the email that I received with the contribution that you already do have it up in your print-on-demand shop, and if you are actually making sales with it, well done, great, I'm happy for you. If you're not, I certainly think that maybe you should sort of consider making a few modifications. First and foremost, for me, I would definitely get rid of the barcodes at the bottom. I think it's really distracting from the design. Also, these triangles over here, it's sort of taking away, it clouds over the A. It's just really, really busy. And me personally, again, this is just my subjective opinion. There might be somebody who's watching this episode saying, what are you thinking? I really love this design, and that's absolutely okay. I mean, that's the beauty of this line of business. I might like it, somebody else may love it, and that's how it goes. But in terms of an overall design, I would definitely consider cleaning it up a little bit, making it a little bit cleaner in terms of not having so much in the design that would distract my attention. As it stands right now, my eyes are all over the place, and I'm just trying to, you know, gear my mind into what it is that you are trying to, what message you're trying to convey through it. Again, this is not an attack against you per se, nor against your skills. What I'm trying to say is that we just need to give this a little bit more thought in terms of how we're going to go about placing all of the elements of this particular design and what elements we're actually going to keep in the design. Otherwise, in terms of placement, I mean, I can't really complain too much about your placement. You might want to check in the back end of your shop to see if maybe you can bring it up a little bit more. From the first glance, it looks like that there's probably a little bit more room where you could bring it up. Remember, you want to make sure that your designs are hovering as close to the top of the print margins that obviously print-on-demand platforms like Redbubble and Teepublic and whatnot offer, so that you can have your design nice and clean across the chest area as opposed to predominantly over the belly area. So overall, it's not a bad effort. I like the color choices you selected with it. They do complement each other, so you don't have that real bright red that's overpowering the yellow and the blue in that. So in terms of the colors, well done for that. Just go back maybe a bit to the drawing board and, you know, just tweak those aspects of the design. Maybe, I don't know, make the skull a little bit bigger across the bottom and bring those X's on a red background or on a red rectangle at the bottom, just to give it a bit of a border, a bottom, if you will, and maybe include another no fear at the bottom just to balance it out. Definitely get rid of those triangles in the background. For me, it's detracting from the design. Okay, let's move on to the next design. Okay, wishing you a perfect Christmas. Now, this is definitely an example of a design where less is more. I really like this particular design. I'm going to tell you straight from the get-go. As soon as it queued onto my screen here, it already made me feel a lot happier. The color schemes that are being utilized in this design are bright, they're cheerful, and the fact that you use two niches, the Christmas niche and the cat niche, and merge them together really works really well. Again, you don't have too much in the way of graphics, so it's really nice and centered. You've got your cat clip art with the Santa's hat on the top, and then wishing you a perfect Christmas along the bottom. If there is one tweak that I would perhaps maybe suggest, is that you maybe enlarge wishing you a sort of to come in line with Christmas, just to give that rectangular appearance. I like the fact that you have a different colored font and a different style of font for perfect. I think it really works well. I can't really tell if you have a stroke around Christmas as you do with the white. If you do, or if you don't, you want to make sure that it is paired up with the top line. So either A, get rid of the stroke around wishing you a, or else put a stroke around Christmas. Again, if you are going to keep it on a white t-shirt, I don't really think you need a white stroke. However, if you are going to offer it, as will be the case on Redbubble, to appear on different colors, the white stroke will definitely work. So I would highly suggest that you do so. Again, I can't really tell from the quality of the mock-up that you sent in whether or not there's a stroke. So if you do have one, I apologize for mentioning it. If you don't, I would seriously consider putting one into as well. Other than that, I think it's great design. The fact that you have it nice and hovered right towards the top of the print margin really gives it a great professional appearance. And I really hope that the type of keywords that you selected to get this design out in front of customers aren't just those generic keywords like cat, kitten, Christmas, but in fact that you actually compiled a number of long tail keyword phrases to help reduce the competition in terms of the number of designs up for a particular keyword, so that obviously you would be ranking a lot higher in the marketplace for those particular long tail keyword phrases. And again, long tail keyword phrases that customers would type in naturally. Or more importantly, and I have mentioned this before in previous episodes, nowadays a lot more people, as opposed to typing on their mobile devices, are actually using the audio function on their mobile devices in order to search for whatever it is they wish to search for whilst browsing the internet. Now, if they happen to be on Redbubble or Teepublic or any of these other amazing print-on-demand websites and are looking for a design pertaining to the cat and Christmas niche, they might actually just click on the audio icon and actually verbalize what it is they're looking for. And if your keyword phrases match closely to that which they might verbalize, well, there's a good chance that A, you're going to be in a listing that has low competition, and B, that your design is actually going to be found. So well done for the design. Aside from maybe those tweaks to the text, I would keep everything the same. So well done. Okay, so the third design that we're going to be looking at today is a design titled Be Unique. Now, what I do know with this particular design is that the artist who creates the designs for this t-shirt, or rather for these styles of t-shirts, does everything by hand first, so we have a bit of a traditionalist, and then scans everything and cleans everything up, obviously in the digital field after the design is created. So the fact that there might be a little bit of maybe the fact that the font isn't as perfect as maybe perhaps a digitally created font would be, I actually absolutely like the fact that there's a bit of a human nature to the design. So the fact that somebody actually took out pen and paper or pencil and paper, sketched it out, took a marker to it to create the outline and scanned it to actually do the final post-processing on Photoshop or whatever program that he or she utilized. I really like that too as well. Clearly, it takes a little bit more time, but I think that's what makes this particular design unique. And again, which absolutely fits the title, or rather the caption of this particular t-shirt. Now, aside from the fact that I really like the text, the design works really well too as well. The one thing that I'm not really happy about, and again, this is again subjective from my point of view, are the letter E's. It really looks a lot like the euro symbol, and that might be a little bit confusing to people. It might turn them off a little bit. I don't know if maybe in future designs, when you are creating something with the sort of font style that you've created, again, this is not, to harp down on you or to put you down or whatnot. This is just a suggestion that I'm giving, is maybe change the E a little bit. Again, totally subjective. My opinion, if you are making sales with this, send me flying, that's fine, not a problem. But obviously, I'm just giving you my perspective from my first reactions here too. The leaves are actually quite nice too as well. I'm trying to deduce as to how. Okay, I think I get it now. Every leaf is unique. No two leaves are ever the same. So perhaps maybe the fact that you've got these different types of leaves around the text is sort of amplifying the aspect of, be yourself, be unique. And that might actually resonate very well with people who are naturalists, who are minimalists, who perhaps like the fact that, hey, I don't need to try and impress everybody. I am who I am, and you either like it or you don't. So I have to say, this design has grown on me as I was actually critiquing it. Aside from maybe the letter E, which personally I would tweak if it had been my design, I think it's really great. Maybe just bring B and unique a little bit closer together. Otherwise, you have it nicely hovering towards the top across the chest area. So I wouldn't suggest that you change anywhere in terms of the shirt placement. Looks really good. Again, minimalist, very, very, very basic, but very, very effective. So well done for this design. Again, I hope you're using very unique keywords for that to obviously get your design out in front of the eyeballs of potential customers. And I certainly hope that if you haven't started making sales on it yet, that you do so in the near to distant future. So some really great designs so far. Okay, so the next design in today's episode, okay, I'm not going to say the word for the caption. YouTube might not like that. It feels good to be a hamster. Okay, so what do I think about this design? First and foremost, I think it's a bit too small. I think you can afford to make it a little bit large. I don't know if you wanted to keep it small to just be, in correlation to the fact that hamsters are small. But remember, most people nowadays are actually making purchases on their mobile devices. And given the fact that on average, mobile screen devices can range anywhere between 6 and 10 inches in size, if your design is small on a t-shirt mock-up as it appears in the marketplace, chances are that it's going to be too small for them to read, and they might not actually click on it to see what the design has to offer. So what I would definitely suggest that you do is that you enlarge it, and perhaps maybe even make it, fill the entire print area across the shirt. Remember, people who are purchasing shirts on platforms like Redbubble, Teepublic, Zazzle, Society6, what have you, even merch by Amazon, they're paying good money. And if they're paying good money, in addition to the exorbitant amounts, I'm sorry to say, but they are exorbitant amounts of shipping and handling costs that one sees in 2021, and probably going to continue, increasing in 2022. If they're going to actually open up their wallets and fork out this kind of money, they need to make sure that they're not just going to get a plain shirt, be it white, red, black, blue, or what have you. They want to make sure that they're going to get something that's going to have a design that's big and is bold, and that people are going to be able to see from a block away. Because if they're going to buy it, that means they're proud to be wearing it. So let's give them a design that's going to have the shirt really filled with that particular design. So again, what I would definitely do is enlarge the size of this design. I wouldn't change the font style. I really like it. I like the fact that the capture on the top is sort of a reverse of the text in the bottom. So you got white on black on top and black on white on the bottom, which works pretty well. Again, the fact that it is a black and white sort of sketched clip art. I don't know if you drew this or if it's a clip art. If you did draw it, well done. It's a lot better than what I could have done. I'm not much of a sketch artist myself, but I really like the fact that the hamster's wearing the shades there. It gives sort of that cool vibe to it as well. But yeah, overall, what I would do is I would enlarge the caption on the top so that you would fill in the rectangle, enlarge the design, the overall design, to fit as much of the front of the t-shirt as you possibly can. And the word hamster, I would stretch it out a little bit, or maybe enlarge it a little bit if you don't want to stretch it, so that the edging of the H comes in alignment with the edging of the letter I, as would the R with the letter A, just sort of to give it a nice balanced feel across. So that's basically my 2 bits for this design. Again, you are focusing on the hamster niche, which to my understanding is quite huge too. So if it's a niche you're looking for, you might want to tap into this particular niche too as well for any future designs of your own. But yeah, be very careful in terms of what keywords that you choose for this. Again, long tail keyword phrases are the way to go today. If you don't know what I'm talking about, or you don't have any clue about how to go about creating a long-term keyword phrase or how to research from them, just navigate to the video list in my channel. I have a few episodes which basically explains how to go about doing this, and I've even helped some sellers with their designs in compiling a bunch of, or rather a number of long-term keyword phrases for them to utilize with their own particular designs. So well done for that, and I hope that this particular design does really well for you in the future. Okay, so the final design that we're going to be looking at today is Coffee Addict. Now, this is an amazing design. I have to say, I'm really, really impressed with it. If you drew it, well done. You're an amazing graphic artist. If you managed to source the clip arts from someplace, well done too as well. I really like the fact that you basically merged the coffee niche with the pug. And the fact that more often than not, when we're seeing different designs pertaining to pugs, we're seeing pugs being portrayed in a cute way. And yeah, they are cute dogs. I have nothing against them. I really like them myself. But the fact that you've given this pug the appearance of somebody who's, fanatic, going crazy, is, caffeine deprived and really needs the coffee, I bet can be really, I bet it can really resonate with a number of people who do need that coffee boost, either first thing in the morning or during a stressful day or after a stressful meeting with the boss, or maybe even on a Monday morning when they're getting up after a very hectic weekend. What else I like about this particular design? Well, you've got the coffee beans at the bottom. Let's zoom in here a little bit. You've got this carton of milk. It looks like everybody's going after the coffee beans in order to stick them into the cup to be consumed. Just overall, this particular design says a lot. It fills the shirt up. It's big, it's bold. It would definitely catch a person's attention if they were scrolling on a mobile device or a desktop computer or a tablet. I love the fact that the font isn't, just totally circular around it. It's sort of got that squiggly effect. Again, it re-emphasizes the fact that a person who's dying for a cup of coffee is feeling the jitters, is feeling the shakes, and definitely wants to get some caffeine coursing through his or her veins. So well done for that. The color palette also works really nice. It's a bit subdued, but still somewhat bright at the same time. So it's really going to capture people's attention. You got that, those sharp teeth and the tongue on the pug, the eyes that are opening up. I really, really like this design. And what I'm just gathering right now as I'm looking at it, I really like this. It looks like to be, I don't know, a blob of cream on top of the head of the pug, the daily grime, and everything is just psychedelic. And I absolutely love this design. So whoever created this, well done. I don't mention any sellers' names over here on these episodes, for better or for worse. But if you're watching this episode, well done. You did a fantastic job with design, in my opinion. I hope that if it isn't selling already, that it will, and that you'll get a lot of orders for this particular design. You've got quite a number of possible keywords, particularly long tail keyword phrases that you could use to match up with this design in order to get them out in front of the eyes of people. So I hope that you gave your due diligence for this particular design when you were creating your title, your description, and your keywords. Now, just earlier on today in my Instagram and Facebook groups that I publish to, I really made it very, very clear to everybody who sees those posts, and I'm going to reiterate it here on my channel, is that I have been doing some research lately, visiting various shops on Redbubble just to see what people are doing in terms of their keywords, in terms of their descriptions and their titles. Not too worried about the designs, but I wanted to focus on those three aspects. And one of the things that I noticed out of the 20 some odd designs that I looked at, 15 of them had descriptions which were very, very weak. Now, what do I mean by weak? They either just copied and pasted the title in the description, or they just basically left the description blank. Guys, you're leaving money on the table by leaving your descriptions either empty or not giving it the due diligence it needs. Remember, in addition to Redbubble marketing your designs, Google also indexes your designs on its search platform. Now, in order for it to be able to index your designs accordingly, it accesses your description to find out what the design is all about and in terms of whom it's going to show the designs to. And Redbubble uses the first 130 characters on its sort of summary. You know, when you go into Google and you type something up and you've got your listings, you got that little blurb for each of those particular listings. That's effectively the description that you put in on your Redbubble or Teepublic or whatever print-on-demand platform you upload to in order to entice a particular customer to click on and see your design through Google. Now, if you leave that empty, if you leave it blank, or if you leave it very weak, then it's either A, going to get indexed very much at the bottom of search and nobody's ever going to find you, right? Or else it's going to be so unbelievably mundane that people aren't even going to want to click on it to see your design. So in addition to putting in the time to create fantastic designs like the one that we currently see on the screen, and indeed some of the other designs that we saw previous to this one, because every design has its pros and cons in its own right, whatever design you put up, you have got to give it the time and the dedication and, yes, the patience to research and create keyword-rich titles, descriptions, and keyword tags. And most importantly, the keywords that you use in your title should also feature naturally, in a natural way, in your description and should also feature in your keyword tags. You have got to give Redbubble, Teepublic, Zazzle, Society6, whatever print-on-demand platform you use, and Google the proverbial meat and potatoes they need to be able to show your designs to the public. If they can't show your designs to the public, if they don't know to whom they are going to show your designs to, your designs aren't going to be found. And hey, if they're not going to be found, people can't consider whether or not to invest their time and money to purchase your design. And your design will end up being stuck in limbo, never to have been worn or displayed by any potential customers down the road. So do keep that in mind. Again, if you're uncertain how to go about doing those, I have episodes on my channel. All you need to do is navigate to it, check out my playlist, check out the video list, and navigate to some of those episodes. Sit down, watch them, take notes, and apply that advice that I give in those episodes to your uploads so that you will actually reach a higher degree of success.
So there you have it, everybody. We took a look at 5 really interesting designs. Again, the beauty of print on demand in terms of the artist work, it's all subjective. And again, today was basically just my opinion. Now, I have been doing this for some time, so I'd like to think that I may have a little bit of an experience that I could actually share with you, and maybe give you a bird's eye perspective in terms of what it is you could improve and what it is that you should keep. Again, any and all of my reviews are not meant to actually come down on the particular designer. This is not a critique about you as a person, but obviously a suggestion in terms of ways to help you improve the overall efforts that you put into your design making skills, so that hopefully in increasing the level of quality that you put into your design making process will increase the appeal of customers to check out your designs and hopefully make a purchase. So I really hope that you got value out of today's episode. If you were one of the sellers who was featured in today's episode, I certainly hope that you will take the advice that I gave and put it to good use. And I wish you nothing but success in the remaining weeks of this fourth quarter and obviously in 2022 to come. But for today, that's all I've got. And as always, be safe, be well, be creative. Bye for now.